Mistake with the Alpha Chapter 66. Jalen's point of view. It was my wedding day. My joy knew no bounds because I was looking at Sam right in front of me with her white wedding dress. I can't explain how this happened all of a sudden, but I do not care. I was just looking into my bride's eyes. It was so beautiful that I didn't want to look away. Having Sam beside me completes me. I looked at her dress and saw that it almost filled the room. Suddenly, the whole room went so dark. "Sam?" I shouted but got no reply. I tried using my wolf's eye to see her, but it seems I've lost them. "Sam?" I cried. Then, snap, the lights came back on, but everything seems different now. It seems I've been teleported to another room. It wasn't as beautiful and glowing like the one I was with Sam. "Sam?" I called. Then I heard a groan beneath me. I quickly looked down, and I saw Sam in the pool of her own blood. "Sam!" I screamed. I bent down to touch her, but another stopped me with her hand. I looked at the hand, and I realized that this person was now putting on Sam's wedding dress, but it had blood all over it. Even the hand that stopped me was filled with blood. I then looked up to see who it was. Then it became Allison. "Hi, mate," she said, grinning. Then my eyes opened, and I was looking at the ceiling of my room. It was all a dream, but yet it looked so real that I was shivering. Then the pain in my chest came again, but not as painful as before. Everything that happened yesterday rushed to my head. I could remember that I was in Sam's ward with her parents. Her mother was begging me to let Sam go. It was then the pain in my chest grew, and that was the last thing I remember. I didn't know how I got back to my room. Looking at what was attached to my body, I sure didn't walk back into this room myself, but then that's not what matters now. What matters now is me seeing Sam. I then began to remove everything attached to my body and turned. It was then I saw someone lying with me on my bed. Looking at the body very well, I saw that it was none other than Allison. My anger then began to grow. This was all her fault. It was when she came to the pack that things began to fall apart. Mate or no mate, she should have just stayed in the hole she is all these while. She came to cause trouble in my pack. The hatred flowed within me that I used my leg to push her off my bed. "Ah!" She screamed in pain as she hit the ground. She looked at me with sad eyes. "What gave you the audacity to sleep on my bed?" I asked, gnashing my teeth together to show how angry I am. "Jay, please." I rushed to her and held her neck, not even mind if she would choke to death. "Don't you ever call me that in your lifetime," I said in my wolf voice. Horror was already taking over. I knew he was grieving, but if I let his grief reach me, Allison would be dead by now, and that will surely affect us. Seeing that she was already going out of breath, I released her. She held her neck coughing, while I didn't stop darting her killer look. My dream kept playing itself in my mind. I knew it was all because of what she did to Sam. "I know I did wrong, Jalen. Please forgive me. I was too naive, and I swear I won't do it again," she said, crying. Her tears didn't move me. All I want is to see Sam and know how she's fearing. I just stood up to leave, but the pain in my chest came again, and I had to stop walking and hold my chest. "It's a bad idea for you to go anywhere. You've not fully recovered, Jalen," Allison said, hurrying towards me. "Don't you dare touch me." I growled. She quickly withdrew the hand that she stretched to hold me. I was looking at the hand with irritation. I endured the pain and walked out of the room. I had forgotten that I just got out of bed. I was in my pajamas when I left the room. I got to know this because of how people were looking at me. I looked at myself and saw it, but I didn't care. Sam is more important. I didn't even dim it to reply to those greeting me. Getting to Sam's ward, I met the physician there attending to her. I then quickly entered. "What's going on with her?" I asked anxiously. My words were very fast, and it showed that I fear for the answer. "Alpha," the physician bowed in greeting. I didn't need his greeting. I only need his answer at this moment. "Tell me what is wrong with her," I said harshly. "Nothing much, Alpha. I'm just doing a routine check on her," he replied. I gave a sigh of relief. I didn't want that dream to come to pass. I'm sure going to use everything in my power to save Sam, even if I'm to sacrifice myself. "How is she recovering?" "It's good, Alpha. Her wolf is really a strong one, and its healing ability is quite fast," he said, surprised. I was glad with that news. I can't wait to have Sam back in my arms. But then I noticed the strange look on the physician. It seems like he's contemplating on telling me something or not. "What?" I asked. Nothing, Alpha, he said, and turned to look at Sam as if he's doing something. You don't expect me to believe you, right? I asked him. He turned back to me with a helpless look. Tell me what is going on, I ordered in my Alpha voice. I knew none could resist that. The physician looked around and then fixed his eyes on the nurse present, as if to tell me he can't speak here, and I, as a very sensitive one, grabbed that immediately. I know the information should be said at the confines of my office. To my office, I ordered. I then left after I took another glance at Sam. She was now putting on a dress. Her wounds were not as bad as yesterday. The physician was also at my trial. Till we got to the office, I was ruminating on what the physician had to say. Hope it's not bad news about my Sam. My aching chest wouldn't be able to take it. What do you have to say? I asked immediately as I stepped into my office. When it comes to my Sam, everything deserves haste. I didn't even bother to have my seat and not remember to offer the physician one. I don't want to waste even a minute. The physician moved closer after making sure the door was locked. Since Miss Sam got to the hospital, I noticed a few things. Which are? I interrupted. I didn't want him to start beating around the bush. Since 2 days ago, she's been with us. 2 days? I said in my heart. I had thought everything that happened was just an evening, but it had already been 2 days. The patients in the hospital are recovering like never before. It's just like setting a dynamite. The one that even surprised me the most was the farmer who was almost torn into pieces by a lion. He shouldn't be out even in 2 months, but now he's ready to go home, he replied. I didn't like what he was telling me. It wasn't the news I wanted to hear. This might just be mere coincidences. Why attribute them to her? It's not as if things don't happen, I said dryly to let him know that I'm not interested in what he is telling me. That was what I first thought too, but then a nurse came to tell me that Gabby woke up after 10 years in coma, he said. Now that surprised me too. Gabby was a boy who suddenly fell during training and went into a coma. None knew what happened to him, including the physicians. None even expected that he would one day wake up. Even his parents were already leaving their normal life with the rest of their pups. So him waking up out of the blue is a miracle. Are you for real? I asked the physician. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications to stay up to date with new videos uploaded. Also check out our next video in the series.